Most people are stuck in a system designed to work harder and not smarter. We're here to expose the strategies, the loopholes and the life hacks the 1% use. This is universal basic knowledge.
Most people burn their Marriott points on low-tier redemption items. Think $100 a night airport hotels or gift cards. But what if I told you that's the absolute worst way to use them? Here's what most people don't realize. Marriott points have a wide range of potential value. Sometimes less than half a cent per point, sometimes over 1.5 cents. The hotel you book, the night you choose, and even the region can drastically affect what the points are actually worth. The 1% do not waste their points on cheap stays. They use them on luxury properties, peak travel days, international resorts, where cash prices skyrockets, but point rates stay fixed or drop. And here's the kicker. Marriott gives you the 5th night free on award stays. So stay smart with these redemptions and you're compounding your value like crazy. I once booked a night at the St. Regent Resort in the Maldives. It would have cost me over $6,000. And instead, I paid $0 and only used 240,000 points, and I got the 5th night free. So what we're gonna do here is we are gonna actually do a live demo of this right now. So we're in April, May, one of the best times in the world to go to Japan. Everyone wants to go there to see these cherry blossoms. And so we're looking at a bunch of different hotels and the point to dollar ratio that you may get, or if you want to pay in cash, what it would cost. So you can see here at the top, we have the Ritz-Carlton Tokyo, we have the Tokyo Edition, and you're gonna see a value that is $1,074 a night, or you can use 122,000 points. So we're gonna go through some of these ratios as an example. We're gonna start highest price to lowest price, and what you'll notice is that the ratio changes. So sometimes you might see $450 for 57,000 points, or you may see $600 for 70,000 points. That isn't exactly a 1-to-1 ratio. It changes depending on the hotel. And some people are very, enamored with the point value. So we see an example here of a 60,000 a night hotel for $236. That's a bad use case of 60,000 points if you can buy it for $236. Now, we're gonna go through some of these, but what I will say, and one of the most important things, that we would look into this is how I use these points is I sometimes look at multiple days. I don't look at my entire vacation. I look at, hey, I'm gonna be in Tokyo for 4 days. Typically the days that are most difficult to get good rates are on the days that everyone else is traveling. So Friday, Saturday, those are the worst days. When do most people leave? Sunday, because they need to get back to work on Monday. So what I'll typically do is I will use my award points on the Fridays and Saturdays, because those are when the rates are the highest. Typically, you'll see Sundays, the price will dump like 30 or 40%. So you have way better value of if you need to pay some in cash, you buy it on the Sunday, the Monday, the Tuesday, when the hotel doesn't have as many guests, right? You use your points on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's how you can get the best ratio, not only for the points, but also for your cash, right? So going back to the example of kind of what we were saying, so I'm just gonna write a few of these down just so you can see the difference. So we have the Sheraton Grand. So I'm just gonna put SG here, the Sheraton Grand. You can book this hotel right now for $236. This is $236 a night, or 60,000 points, right? So this is the value that they're essentially showing. We're gonna do another one here that is comparable at 60,000 points. We have the Westin Tokyo is 69,000 points. I think that's the closest one. I'll put both of these two. So there's the AC. This is $458 a night, or 57,000 points. And then we have the Westin Tokyo. I'm gonna put WT. I've actually stayed at this hotel. It's a great breakfast. Highly recommend staying there. And so this is $599 a night, or 69,000 points, okay? And so if we look here, these are pretty comparable, right? And so in fact, this one's actually, you save 3,000 points and you would almost get double the value, right? So it shows that how bad of a ratio this is. So if we take $236 divided by 60,000 points, that's gonna get us a ratio of 0.0039. Then we're going to do the same thing with AC. So we're going to take 458 divided by 57,000. And that's going to get us a ratio of 0.008. And then we're going to take WT, and we're going to take 599 divided by 69,000. And that's going to get us a ratio of 0.0086. So these are pretty comparable. These two here, it depends. I think, this is a 4-star hotel. This is a 5-star hotel, right? And so I think, if it was me, I would choose this hotel, right? Because this is a 5-star treatment. I actually looked the other days, surrounding these days, the price was actually cheaper. It was in the $300 to $400 range on the Sundays and Monday and Tuesday. And so I would book 3 or 4 days here. And so, you want to use your points really thoughtfully. And if you've seen our past videos, you know that if you have the card for Marriott, for example, you can get up to 16x on your spend, right? So that's how you basically get points. How do you get them to stack the restaurants, things of that nature, and then you use those points intelligently. And this is how you should think about it from a ratio standpoint. So you always want to think about that. And this is just an example. Honestly, this isn't even that crazy of an example. I've seen situations where, we're talking about a $70 a night hotel in, the middle of Ohio for 25,000 points, 30,000 points, or you can pay 60 or 70 bucks. And so that is like not a very good ratio for that hotel. And I've seen situations where there's a Ritz-Carlton that's normally $1,200 where you can get that for 70,000 points. And so these are just examples though of how you should think about it to maximize your value. So if you want to compare someone that's basically staying at a Fairfield Inn on the side of the highway because they're thinking in a situation where they need money and they rather save money, so they're going to use their points instead, versus someone that knows how to play the game instead of the game playing you, and you're going to get your max value, you're going to have your best vacation, you're really going to utilize this to the absolute max. That's the difference, and that's how the 1% thinks and lives. So while people waste their Marriott points on cheap redemptions and gift cards, the wealthy are staying in ocean, water villas, beachfront resorts, and 5-star city hotels for free. With the same points, completely different outcome. This isn't luck, this is a strategy. If this sounds interesting to you, join our free community. You don't need to be rich to live like the 1%, you just need to learn what they do. This is universal basic knowledge.